Welcome back to Thoughts of Dr. Odds, where I explore the intersections of mental health, nutrition, and personal growth through both expert insights and my own lived experiences. Today's episode is one that hits close to home. It's about cannabis, a plant that I once saw as my escape, my medicine, my way of dealing with life's stress and anxiety. But over time, I had to ask myself a tough question. Was it really helping me, or was it making things worse? I started smoking cannabis as a young adult, and like many people, I initially saw it as a tool for relaxation, creativity, and stress relief. It made me feel chilled, laid back, like nothing could shake me. It became part of my identity, especially in my years as a Rastafarian. I used it to mask my anxiety, believing it helped me stay calm in social situations. But as time went on, I started noticing the cracks in that illusion. The chilled version of me was just a mask. Deep down, I was still battling anxiety. Instead of helping me engage socially, it made me retreat further into my own head. It gave me the illusion of confidence, but underneath, my self-esteem was crumbling. And then came the paranoia. Simple interactions felt overwhelming. I would overanalyze conversations, wondering if people were judging me. It came to a point where I started avoiding social situations altogether, preferring isolation over engagement. At first, I noticed that I was convincing myself that this was just my personality. But deep down, I knew this wasn't who I was. This was the effect of cannabis on my mind. To understand why cannabis affected me the way it did, I had to look into the science behind it. And here's what I learned. Cannabis affects the dopamine system. So dopamine is the brain's reward chemical, responsible for motivation, pleasure, and focus. Regular cannabis use can flood the brain with dopamine, making natural sources of pleasure like exercise, accomplishment, or deep conversation feel less rewarding. Over time, this can lead to a lack of motivation, emotional numbness, and increased anxiety. Cannabis can also increase paranoia. While some people feel relaxed when they smoke, others, like myself, experience heightened anxiety and overthinking. THC, it affects the amygdala, which is a part of the brain responsible for fear and stress. And it can make some people become hyper-aware, self-conscious, and paranoid. Cannabis also disrupts sleep. So many smokers, including myself, believe that cannabis used to help me sleep. But studies show it actually reduces REM sleep, which is essential for emotional processing and mental clarity. I found out that I struggled with emotional control, especially in conflicts. The chill exterior could flip to anger or frustration in an instant. This made relationships harder. It made professional interactions more stressful, and it left me feeling like I had no real control over my emotions. The more I understood the science, the clearer it became. Cannabis wasn't solving my anxiety, it was amplifying it. After more than 2 decades of chronic cannabis use, I reached a breaking point. I had to ask myself, is this really making my life better? Do I feel more in control of my emotions or less? Would I be happier, more productive, and more present without it? I knew the answers, but quitting wasn't easy. So here's what finally helped me to break free. I had to acknowledge the truth. I had to be brutally honest with myself about the impact cannabis was having on my life. I had to find alternative stress relievers. So instead of smoking, I started focusing more on exercise, meditation, and also deep breathing techniques. I also tried to improve my sleep naturally. So I worked on better sleep hygiene, cutting back on late night screen time, and using natural methods like magnesium and other herbal teas. Without cannabis constantly flooding my dopamine system, I had to relearn how to find joy and motivation in everyday life. The first few months were difficult. I had vivid, intense dreams, a withdrawal symptom from years of suppressed REM sleep. My anxiety spiked at first, before slowly improving. I had to relearn how to socialize, handle stress, and manage emotions without cannabis. But over time, I started feeling more like myself. My brain felt clearer, my anxiety became more manageable, my self-esteem improved because I was no longer relying on a substance to feel okay. And the biggest realization, I thought cannabis was making me more connected to my emotions, my spirituality, my creativity. But in reality, it was keeping me disconnected from myself. So, is cannabis a friend or foe to mental health? For some, it might genuinely help with relaxation and creativity. But for others, especially those prone to anxiety, overthinking, and emotional instability, I think it can do more harm than good. For me, it became a crutch instead of a tool, and I had to walk away from it to truly understand myself. If you've ever wondered whether cannabis is helping or hurting your mental health, then ask yourself, do I feel more in control of my mind or less? Am I using it as a tool or as an escape? And would my life improve without it? You don't have to quit just because society tells you to, but you do have to be honest with yourself about what it's doing to your life. For me, walking away from cannabis was one of the best decisions I've ever made. That's it for today's episode, Thoughts of Dr. Odds. If this resonated with you, share it with someone who might need to hear it. And if you're on a journey of self-improvement, stay tuned because I'm just getting started. Until next time, take care of your mind, take care of your body, and take control of your story.